14 math teachers we hope to hire will have to wait until another year, but we were able to meet the mandates of our ever-growing special education and English as a second language programs by including 2 ESOL teachers and 12 special ed teachers. Again, I am proud that from constant reallocation of funds and positions, as well as creative resolutions, this budget is able to meet the needs it does for FY17. I will caution that as hard as this year was to meet all of the identified needs, the next 2 years will prove to be harder. The mandatory operational costs are projected to rise at a larger rate than in the past, and if the trend continues for special education and ESOL enrollment, we are expected to rise exponentially. Unfunded mandates and underfunded mandates have always been a challenge, but with ADA funding still around a mere 17% and special education enrollment rising by hundreds, we will barely be able to meet those challenges we are required by law to meet, much less serve new priorities. Each year we hope to meet the needs of our students and work within our strategic plan to reach our goal of preparing students to be career and college ready. I urge the Board of Supervisors to start strategic planning now for education funding. Both boards need to be working towards similar goals in order to get the greatest rate of return on the taxpayers' investment in the children of Spotsylvania County.
Although this is about numbers right now, to me it's about the child. So this vote is not only very important, it of course gets my support. There's not a budget this large that you couldn't say there's things you wish you could have done. And I'm with you on the activity buses and all that, but being a long-term member of the board, one thing I can tell you is although I could not be more appreciative of the funding we received this year, not at anybody's fault, we haven't been receiving funding. So even though it was great, it's just sort of barely getting us back to square one. We're still, the things that we're restoring are extremely small. We don't have all the funding we need just yet. We're working towards it. I think this year was a huge step in the right direction, huge. Our local government body, I mean, they did a great job of stepping up and funding us. Honestly, since I've been on the board, the biggest transfer I have seen, starting in 2009. It was just very helpful, but we can't forget that we were in a deficit, and we were working to get out of that deficit. So it was great, but it's just putting us back to square one, sort of, and we still have a long way to go. So although I wanted activity buses, and there was a lot of things we wanted to put back this year, and I won't get on that bandwagon, as you know how I feel about activity buses, but it's hard to put those big ticket items back on quickly.